So how possible is it that ICP were to 30x from where it is now? This is June 10th, 2025. I'm going to talk about what it takes to move the price of a particular crypto. We're going to use ICP as an example. However, you'll see after the analysis, you'll understand a little better what it does and doesn't take to actually move the market cap of a particular crypto. I'm Brian. My disclaimer, don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. Big dumb animal. Please like and subscribe down below. I also have a crypto school if you like the way I teach. I've got courses in there and discussions every day on crypto. And the course that's coming out this evening is regarding sell sheets. So you don't just ride a price up and ride a price down. You sell at different levels. And I've got a spreadsheet you can use, that sort of thing. So if you're interested in that, take a look at the school community. Now, ICP at the moment, it's sitting at number 42 in terms of market cap for all crypto. Now, it has all of its supply out. However, it's not a finite supply. It's an infinite supply. So at the moment, that's why market cap and fully diluted value are the same, which makes this one a good one to look at. 3.2 billion. The idea is, what if we could 30x that, which would be roughly, when I did the analysis, I'll show you what I started with. It was 3 billion. So that would be $90 billion market cap and fully diluted. If you're not familiar, market cap is typically lower than fully diluted. They match if all the tokens are in circulation. And to get the market cap, you just take the price of the coin times the coins in circulation. To get fully diluted, price of the coin times all of the coins. Okay, so for example, 90 billion in terms of fully diluted would put us at the moment around here, number 6 or number 7. Close to Solana, BNB, XRP's at 230 billion. So the idea is, could ICP get up here to around 90 billion? We're at the beginning of what we believe is a bull run. So for example, Solana's 160. I've heard people say 400, 600, 800, which would take this 90 much higher. 320 would take it to 180, to give you an example. All right. So what would it take to really move ICP? Why am I doing this? Because if you're making pricing projections for your crypto and then determining where you want to start selling potentially, you want to also sometimes take a step back and say, well, hold on, is this even realistic? Am I asking, like I've seen people on one particular crypto say it's going to get to 10,000, which would put it into an astronomical amount of money. It's not even possible. So we'll start on the ICP page. A little over 3 billion market cap. Here's what matters. Circulating supply, 534 million. We'll scroll down and take a look. Because if you're not familiar, there are multiple exchanges. Unlike stocks, the same crypto can trade on different exchanges. And you'll see here they have information such as how much money does it take on that exchange. For example, we're going to be using Binance. $175,000 could move the price up 2%. 500,000 move it down 2%. So that's what we're going to use as our base point for the calculation. When I started this, the price has gone up slightly. It was at $5.64. Circulating supply, 534 million. Market cap of 3 billion. And so if we wanted to 30x it, it would be a 90 billion market cap. The first thing that most people think of is, well, if it's a 90 billion market cap, that means $90 billion has been invested. No, it's just taking the most recent price times the coins. So a linear method would say, well, if it's at 3 billion and it goes to 90, just subtract and it's going to take $87 billion to get there. Not at all. All right, so I used ChatGPT to help out with all of the math. It took into account 3 main things. First was slippage. You want to execute at a particular price. Let's say you do a market order, but it doesn't go at that particular price. So there's some slippage difference between what you wanted to execute at and what you actually executed at. So looking at it, ChatGPT said slippage adjusted, it would be $790 million. All right, so the next one is what they call multi-pool arbitrage. Just think arbitrage. If on this exchange the price is $10, in this exchange the price is $9 because all of a sudden this one went up, then you can purchase over here at 9 and sell over there at 10. Because of that, there are those that will make sure that all of these exchanges stay fairly close to the same price. So it factored in a 30% arbitrage overhead, which came out to just over $1 billion. Next one, dynamic liquidity adjustments. So buying and selling, it has to do with a pool. You've got, let's say, USDT / ICP. So you've got that pool which has to be rebalanced as things are bought and sold. With that calculation, it came up to 924 million. So here you go, the four estimates. The first one was a linear depth estimate that we talked about. It was 90 billion minus 3 billion is 87 billion. That's the idea that to get to 90 billion has to be invested. No, that's not the case. As you can see, unrealistic. With the slippage curve, it came out to be about 790 million. Adding the arbitrage cost was 1.03 billion. And then after the liquidity response, meaning being able to factor in the liquidity providers, keeping things a little more even, it came down to the final estimate of 924 million. Here you go. Final answer. The most grounded and realistic estimate for the capital required to push ICP up 30x to go from 3 billion to 90 billion market cap, which would 30x the price. So if it's at $6, it's going to be $180. To do that would only require approximately $1 billion. Think about that. Spoiler alert, you always have to be a little critical of what you read or what you hear. So that was ChatGPT after I had all sorts of discussions with it and changed prompts and all kinds of things. Then I moved to Grok. Grok evaluated it in a very similar fashion, talking about liquidity providers, arbitrage, slippage, took all that into account. However, its conclusion was the following. It says it's not realistic to say that $1 billion would drive ICP's market cap from 3 billion to 90 billion. While $1 billion could cause it to the price to spike, potentially 5 to 10x. However, a 5 to 10x is still significant. So $1 billion comes in. Yet, if it were to 10x, it would go from a 3 billion market cap to a 30 billion market cap with just $1 billion of investment. So as you can see, that's not a lot. And yet you might achieve a 10x on ICP and get from roughly $6 to $60. Now to go even further, it takes more capital because as you're buying tokens on the way up, you're obviously purchasing them at higher prices. So it becomes more of an exponential curve. And as you can see, to get to that 90 billion, 30x would require possibly 15 to 20 billion. Still nowhere near the total of 90 billion. So is it possible to get there? Yes. But this is a type of thing where I would look at my sell sheet and I would say to myself, I've got an average price of, let's say, $6. Do I think it's realistic to 10x? And I would say in this case, absolutely. Do I think $1 billion is going to go into ICP during this bull run? In my opinion, big dumb animal, don't listen to me. I think there's no problem that will happen. Do I think 15 to 20 billion will go in? I don't really know. So I like to make my sell levels and then put a little on the side and not put in any sell orders, because I like to let it ride just in case it does take off. But this is a great way to check if your pricing predictions actually seem realistic. And in this case, $1 billion in ICP, I think it's going to 10x from here. And could it 30x? It could. We'll see how that goes. But that's why I like to leave a little wiggle room and not set up all my sell orders. Keep some set aside in case it really does run. Have a great day. Hope this was helpful. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.